You're listening to Special Delivery with Sam and Dave.
Well, live from the Sirius XM studios in New York City, it's Special Delivery starring Sam and Dave. And now your hosts, Sam and Dave.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Rudolph, the announcer. Rudolph, the announcer, everyone. Thank you.
What an introduction.
It is going to be a wonderful show tonight, ladies and gentlemen, on this glorious January the 10th, 2009. Your very first Special Delivery starring Sam and Dave show of the year. May I add, Sam.
That's true. We are ushering in 2009 in style.
And this is not just going to be your run-of-the-mill 1 hour episode.
No.
Because we have a special guest lined up for you, the Americans.
Yeah.
Not the Canadians. Turn your Sirius or XM radios off.
That's right. This thing, you can't listen, is what we're saying.
I am very upset at them.
The Canadians.
Currently, yes. After seeing this movie, Letter for Zachary. About how they hid a Canadian up there, wouldn't extradite her to America. But that's all here and now.
Yeah, that's not the meat and potatoes of what we're dealing with here. What we're dealing with is a celebrity coming up later in the hour, hopefully, as long as this thing gets pulled off.
I think it will. You know why?
So.
Let me tell you something. Davy Mack set it up.
And I have all the faith in the world in Davy Mack.
And I am Eastside Dave, and that is my partner, Primetime Sam Roberts.
Yes, and this is the Special Delivery Show. It's a special 1 hour show as part of the Saturday Night Virus. And we're just coming off, just a couple weeks ago, one of the most successful shows in the history of the Saturday Night Virus on XM 202, Sirius 197.
Sam?
Yeah.
One of the most successful shows? One of the most?
Maybe.
Maybe?
Probably. Seems like the most.
Yes!
Seems like the most successful show in the history of the Saturday Night Virus. That was just a couple weeks ago, the 3-hour extravaganza that was the first ever live Special Delivery show starring Sam and Dave. And before you go any further, I do have to correct Rudolph. When he made his morning announcements, that's what I call him, even though it's the nighttime.
Yeah.
He said live. We're actually live to tape for this one.
We're live to tape to live, in my opinion.
Because it's still new.
Wait, listen to me.
Yeah.
Are the people listening to the show right now, are they dead?
No.
So we call it live to tape to live.
Right, because they're alive, baby.
Okay, because we don't have dead listeners. That's what makes you Special Delivery fans. You're alive.
Right.
And I'm talking about, zombies or any of the undead folks.
They count too.
Skeletons, yeah.
Skeletons.
No, yeah, what I'm saying is, like the Canadians, turn off your radios.
Right, because we want people that are fully alive, not technically alive because they're undead. If you're not alive and breathing, what I'm saying is if you don't have a pulse, you have no business listening to this show.
But that's enough zombie talk. I mean, only psychopaths would go on about zombies for an hour and a half.
On a radio show, of all places. But we're coming off our first 3-hour live extravaganza. I think it went extremely well. A huge amount of fan support.
Well, I'll tell you, we had 4 people who said that they liked the show, and their names are Ron, Fez, Opie, Anthony. You might have heard them. They're here on Sirius XM. They're brilliant.
Exactly.
All in their own right.
That's actually where we come from.
Yeah.
Sam and Dave. And all the fan support from Coke Logic and Zoll making all these paintings. I was scrolling through the message boards after the show, and I didn't realize that RonFez.net's own Bobby Pantera made a drawing for us.
He did he?
But he didn't really publicize it. I didn't know about it.
Oh, that was his?
Yeah.
I saw the picture. I didn't even know it was Bobby Pantera's.
He was like, oh, no love for me, but I had not seen it until after the show,
okay.
So I loved it.
Love.
Lots of love.
Love it. Now, speaking of love, we got, I have to say, we had crate full of fan letters and emails.
That's right. And then if you want to get in touch with the special delivery show, you can send us your very own fan mail, special delivery show.
That's good.
Sometimes I get very excited.
I like special blah.
Yeah, but it's actually not.
Good.
It's specialdeliveryshow@gmail.com.
Great.
And we check all those emails. We'll read them on the air, maybe. I'm thinking about starting that.
All right. Well, listen, that's why you're you. Now, here's me. Here's a letter I got, an email, I should say. It said, Eastside Dave, I immensely enjoyed the Sam and Dave show on Saturday.
And what, this was coming right off the show, like the next day or whatever?
Exactly. Yeah, it was coming at 10:49 a.m. The Sunday afterwards. It said, Eastside Dave, I immensely enjoyed the Sam and Dave show on Saturday. You guys should get a full-time spot. Keep up the great work. All the best, Pat.
That's very,
yeah.
I appreciate the fan support, but after 3 hours of radio thinking we should get full-time, Pat must be a...
Right. Pat, as it turns out, when I looked at who sent it...
Like up to the email address?
Yeah, the email was pmcdonald@aol.com. That's my father disguising himself as this fan called Pat.
Is your dad's name Pat?
Yes, his name is Pat McDonald, and for some reason, and he doesn't even say Dave or anything. He says Eastside Dave.
Like your character name. Like as if he's just a listener.
He says, Eastside Dave, I enjoyed the Sam and Dave show. All the best, Pat. He tried to forge a fan letter, not realizing in 2009, since the birth of emails, when you get an email, you see who sent it to you.
Yeah.
The person who sent you the email's name is always available. And I'm like, Dad, I had called him up and I said that was a nice thing. Why did you try to trick me?
Yeah, I'm going to say right around 1995 would be when emails you could trace. If you knew the email address.
This isn't tracing. It comes with every email.
Right, it's scrolling up.
Yes.
Oh, I'm going to email this guy back.
Yeah.
That's my dad.
Yeah, and so it was like, it was like I said, we got so many, but this is the one that really spoke to me, and then to see that it was just a phony email from my father was bizarre.
I would assume that means that your dad has very little faith that anybody else listened to this show.
No, and here's also the deal. If you're going to fake an email, fake it to like Sirius or XM or one of the bosses.
Yeah, he's just
don't waste it on me.
He's just trying to inflate your ego and make you feel good, like you need.
Am I the PD? You guys should get a full-time spot.
Yeah,
all the best, Pat.
This way, when you have your big meetings with Sirius XM people, you can say, "Look, well, for instance, here's this piece of fan mail right here." They think we should get full-time,
and they'll be like, "Your name is Dave McDonald, right?" Yes, and this is coming from Pat McDonald?
Yeah.
I plead the fifth, Your Honor.
It's not even like his email address is patm@AOL. It's P. McDonald.
Yeah.
So they see the McDonald. That's the incriminating part.
And then now that I think about it, I better tell him to change it after this show broadcast. As Daddy's going to be getting some emails.
The feeling that some people will be glad to know that P. McDonald@AOL is a friend.
Dear Pat, your son shoves cocks in his ass.
Dear Pat, your sperm created the biggest waste of sperm ever.
And plus sperm, and then multiply that by sperm waste.
Why couldn't you have just taken your sperm and jacked off into a cup?
And then drank the sperm in the cup, then... After you drank it, you pissed out sperm.
Yeah.
And you didn't jack off sperm, you literally urinated sperm.
Oh, wait, I forgot. That's what Eastside Dave does.
Sperm.
Sperm.
Sperm. Sperm.
No, we're not going to. Now you're encouraging.
Yeah, all of a sudden, I think I'm going to write one of those emails myself now.
Just to your dad.
Sounds like a good idea.
Well, see, that's where...
Dear Dad, you sperm dick.
That's where you and your dad are making the same mistake and not realizing that he can then scroll up and see your email.
Right. I don't think no, apparently he is not familiar with the technology of seeing who sent.
Right.
The sent thing.
It's like not being familiar with the fact that when you get a letter in the regular mail, you can look at the top left and see the return address.
I am so sure that while he was writing this fake email, he was wearing like the bad Groucho Marx disguise with the mustache. No one will know it's me.
He'll never find me out.
He doesn't know what I look like. Not with this plastic nose.
So is your dad like a crazy person?
It's weird. He was usually the rational of the, my mom is insane. My mom, Beanie, but my dad, Pat, we called him baked beans and patty cakes in case.
Baked beans and patty cakes.
And my father was usually the rational of the two, and just kind of. But as they're getting old, because I have 68-year-old parents, they're getting a little bit funny,
loopy,
shall we say?
Yeah, because
I love them to death, though. They're the best. But
like people say, you're kind of a wacky, crazy guy, and usually I would say, straight parents. Wacky kid, like, you know what I mean? Like, you're the wacky guy who brings the parents in and they're like, leave it to Beaver parents.
Right.
It's not the case.
No, it's not the case at all.
So your psychosis is genetic?
I would say so.
It's genetic.
Over vacation, a few weeks ago, we were, my mom was talking to my wife, Casey, who's pregnant with our second child. Can you believe it, Sam?
2 children. God has blessed you.
Can you believe it, Sam? Oh, yeah.
God
blessed is not the word I was looking for, pal. Any antonyms for blessed?
Yeah.
Anywho.
That's like cursed, right?
So my mom tells this story of, she goes, Casey, would you like some wine? And Casey's like, no, I'm pregnant. You know this. And my mom's like, big deal. She goes, I loved being pregnant because I could drink all day and night. You can.
See, you're supposed to say, I'm so glad I'm not pregnant anymore.
Right.
Now I can drink all day and night.
No, her thing was she was glad. That's probably why she had 4 children. Was she just wanted to keep getting hammered. But it was weird because she's like, I don't know what it was. All of a sudden I could drink like John Goodman. I could just drink and drink and drink.
Maybe physically you can, but no, you can't.
Right.
You're affecting...
I wonder why I may have a drinking problem.
Yeah.
So
she really thought that, like, pregnancy was the time
and she was encouraging my wife. And Casey's like, you know what? That's okay.
You got to loosen up. I mean, this will make everything so much easier.
I know. You have so much weight in your stomach and your back probably hurts. Just split this bottle of wine with me. Or better yet, let's do some shots.
Split this bottle. It's not even like, have a glass of red wine and maybe you'll feel better. It's like, we got shots. We got a couple bottles. They're not going to drink themselves.
Okay, really, Mom? Don't give her shots. It's just a shot. It's so small. I know. But you're giving her 100 proof whiskey.
Right.
Not good for my child.
The type of thing that if a woman did drink while pregnant, you would probably have brand new medical bills going along after the baby.
Right. And we don't need that. I'm still avoiding medical bills. Yeah. I'm still avoiding medical bills from the first baby.
But the first baby seems very healthy.
She was. Casey didn't drink. She was a good person.
She didn't drink and didn't smoke, and you come out with a baby that seems, cute, full of life, doesn't cry.
Yeah. And so my mom thinks, listen, though, look at the first one. She's a little angel. She's a little angel. Nothing's going to happen to the second one. Let's get fucked up right now.
Yeah.
No. The reason why she's an angel is because Casey didn't drink.
Look, you tried your way the first time. This is your second go-around. Try my way.
It's party time, sister.
It's party time.
And
she's just grabbing your wife and opening her mouth up with shoving a funnel in her. What are you doing? This is why we don't come to family functions anymore.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I mean, that was a very disturbing story that my mom told.
So you're sitting there at a point in your life where you're looking around and saying, this is not what it's supposed to be like. I'm the responsible, normal one here.
I know. Can you believe that me? I am very reckless, so to speak. But I was like, no, I think I'm going to actually step in and actually say no to drinking for the first time in my life. I don't think Casey should have any wine nor shots. Well, even if they are Jell-O shots, Mother. Yeah. You do make good Jell-O shots, Mother.
Kids love Jell-O. Kids love Jell-O.
Right. Especially with vodka in them.
Yeah. Red Jell-O for the kid. The vodka inside is for you, to make it a little easier. And give it on the...
Oh, here's her thing, too. Here's her other thing is, if it's cold out, it's like, hey, just have a little bit of whiskey with me, will you? It's cold outside. It's 55 degrees, Mom.
Yeah.
It's unseasonably warm in December. Yeah. I mean, when this was a few weeks ago.
Sure.
Do you remember Christmas?
Yes, it was
How
warm.
fucking hot it was?
Yeah.
And she's like, it's cold. Just because it says December 25th doesn't mean it always corresponds with, that's why the weather changes, so to speak. Because just because it's a certain day on the calendar doesn't mean it's cold. She thinks, well, it's July 4th. It's going to be hot. I'm going to wear a bikini. It's also 40 degrees outside.
Yeah, it's something that happens in nature. You don't know every time. That's why Weather Channel exists.
Exactly. Yeah.
If the Weather Channel, if your mom's philosophy on life was correct, we wouldn't need the Weather Channel. We just need calendars.
Right.
We'd know. Oh, it's hot outside today.
Yeah.
July.
All right.
Oh, today it's cold. November.
I'll trust you.
October. Just go outside in a sweatshirt. You're good.
And I could not think of a person who was more wrong about the weather and always advising me of how to dress. Like, just because it was opening day at the Yankee game, for instance, okay? It was April, and my mom would be like, okay, it's baseball season. Oh, you just need a T-shirt. It's baseball season.
Put on some sunscreen.
It's baseball season. And every time we went, remember Hideki Matsui? He hit a home run his first day as a Yankee in April. It was snowing that day. And my mom, it's opening day of the baseball. It has to be warm for baseball.
This is the first I've ever heard. This is like mothers, they say to bundle up. Like the stereotype of a mother is, you don't understand, it's warm outside. No, bundle up, bundle up. Your mother is saying, you're saying, Mom, you don't understand here. I'm going to catch pneumonia. It's snowing.
Oh, yeah.
The Yankees are playing in the snow. Yankees are playing T-shirt weather.
Right. Well, Mom, it's April. It's still cold in lots of parts of the Northeast. Yeah, she's a real different type of mother. I would say her MO is more just throw caution into the wind type of deal.
Well, she did something right because she popped out an East Side David McDonald.
Oh, thank you for that compliment. I'm going to say the same thing to your mother. I don't even know your mother's name, do I?
Roberta Faye.
Roberta?
Roberta Faye.
Roberta?
Yeah. Say it with the
Hispanic?
last name. No.
That's a Hispanic name, isn't it? Roberta?
No.
Roberta's not a Hispanic name.
No, Roberta's not. Let's go to the phones.
No one's calling in! This is Tape to Live to Tape to Live.
Right. But no, Roberta's not a Hispanic name at all.
What's your father's name?
Jerry.
Geraldo.
No, just Jerry. It's not short for anything.
Don't you love that Geraldo Rivera? Everyone knows this. He changed his name from Jerry Rivers to Geraldo Rivera. I'm like, if there is any name that sounds sleazier than Geraldo Rivera, it's actually Jerry Rivers.
Yeah, you should have stuck with that.
Just keep Jerry Rivers.
It's Jerry Rivers.
I'm Jerry Rivers, see?
Yeah.
We're going to have a Capone's vault open, see?
My favorite name of all time, and you'll never get me to have a better name than this. I remember, I have an Uncle Hank.
All right.
So my mom's maiden name is Burgess. So
her maiden name is Burgess, like Meredith Burgess.
Yeah, Burgess.
Okay.
So my Uncle Hank, I was a little kid, and I thought I was being really funny in that obnoxious little kid way. I started calling him Uncle Henry because I found out that Hank is short for Henry.
Yeah.
In general.
Right, it is, usually.
But I said, Mom, I've been calling him Uncle Henry all day. It's so funny. And my mom was like, his name's not Henry, though. And I go, no, but Hank is short for Henry. And that's the day I found out his name on his birth certificate is Hank.
Really?
His middle name is Williams.
You gotta be kidding me.
His middle name is Williams.
They did this on purpose?
Yes, because my grandfather loved Hank Williams.
God.
So,
that's phenomenal.
His middle name is not William.
No.
He didn't say, I love Hank Williams. We'll name this kid Hank William. No, he said, we're naming him Hank Williams. Like a normal person would say, all right, Henry William Burgess. No. Hank Williams Burgess.
That is awesome.
That's
the best thing I've ever heard.
But, if he ever hyphenated his name, if he got married to somebody, let's say Roberts, for the sake of whatever. So his name would be Burgess or Roberts Burgess.
Yeah.
But since his middle name is already a last name, Williams Roberts Burgess.
That's too good.
Can you pluralize a middle name?
Who would... This is the school of the George Washington Carver.
Yeah.
I love that president so much. You're George Washington Carver.
Yeah.
George Washington Carver.
Yeah, I think, is Roosevelt a good middle name?
Well, I desperately wanted, if this is a boy, we don't know yet. I desperately wanted to name my kid Don from my favorite baseball player, Don Mattingly.
You got it.
But she will not have any part of Donald McDonald. Basically, it's an M and a C is what separates that name from a Sirhan type
Donald
deal.
McDonald. Well, for those of you who didn't do the math at home yet, yeah, my last name is Roberts, making my mom
Roberta Roberts?
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
We were once reading a book. She was reading a book to us when we were little kids, and she's like, and I guess the main character's name was Roberta, and she goes, but I could never marry him. She's reading out loud. But I could never marry him. Who would want a kid name, I could never marry him. Who would want a name like, and she stopped. The little kids, and she goes, Roberta Roberts. I was like, that's your name.
That's fantastic.
But yeah, I think Donald McDonald works.
I'm like pleading, please let me have it. But we don't have a good boy's name yet. We were rolling around with George for a while, but I don't know if that's gonna stick.
My girlfriend's last name is Spencer.
That's a great name.
She wants the first name of the first boy to be named Spencer. You think he'll get beat up? I was thinking he might.
Spence is pretty cool though. Spence, come here, Spence.
Spence is good. Spencer sounds kind of like a rich kid name, though, right?
Spencer is definitely 80s rich villain type of material.
Maybe Spence, though?
But Spence is kind of cool.
I mean, name him Spins. Like, we could just call him Spins as his nick. It's just one of those cool 80s nicknames that never pop up anymore.
Maybe you can name him Four Spins. And then have him play Press Your Luck.
Yeah.
Because it's spin or else it's, you know.
And as far as middle names go, it took me a while, but I've actually sold Jess. If we were ever to have kids in the future, I've got a middle name for a boy, and she has signed off on it.
Okay, what's that?
Zombie.
No,
I got it. It's in the books. It's in the books.
She hasn't done that.
I wish she was here. You can ask her next time you see her. It's in the books. Zombie. Which is why I might have to go and give her the first name, since she's giving me Zombie as the middle name. But does Spencer Zombie Roberts work?
Well, I'll tell you what, the Zombie instantly toughens up Spencer.
Yeah, it's
because the kids give him a hard time. My middle name is Spencer. Oh my God!
Yeah.
Did he call it? Fantastic. Okay, let me set this one up, if I may.
It's enough with this garbage name talk, because
we have a gigantic celebrity on the phone.
A big name. If you're gonna name a kid something, I was thinking about naming the kid this name.
We're huge fans. I got into this movie late. I got into it late, but it's called King of Kong. It's a documentary on video games, and basically it was about Steve Wiebe, this one guy, versus Billy Mitchell, who's, in my opinion, the greatest video game player of all time.
Who's better?
And that's who we have on the phone line.
What?
The greatest video game player in the history of video games, Mr. Billy Mitchell. Mr. Mitchell? Billy? After a setup like that. Oh,
yes!
Here.
Billy Mitchell.
Oh, well, when you said Billy, you got me. Mr. Mitchell, that's my dad. He's old and grouchy.
Oh, that's good.
And Billy Mitchell is young and full of life. You are on the Special Delivery Show with Sam and Dave.
Yes, I am Dave, and my partner is Sam, and I can't tell you how excited I am to talk to you, basically.
Well, it's funny, listening to your introduction, I'm trying to get a feel for your show, not being familiar with it, even though I know it should be nationwide. It's not. And I don't know if it's a show where I need to be a wise guy or if I need to be serious, if I need to...
You do whatever you want. But
if we talk about the movie, do you want the Hollywood perspective or do you want the real life?
No, we want the Mitchell.
I'm shooting from the hip here a little bit.
Okay, let me tell you. Well, first, for starters, we're on Sirius XM satellite radio, so actually we are national. In fact, we can be heard all over North America. So,
okay.
And secondly, we'd love the real life version. Do you feel like you were portrayed accurately? Do you think like there was a little funny business with the editing? Give us the whole scoop.
Oh, I don't think the portrayal is accurate at all. They portrayed me as a much nicer guy than I actually am.
Are you serious?
I'm never serious. That's why I'm Billy Mitchell.
Oh, that's good.
Mitchell.
No, but I mean, they definitely made it a sort of black and white thing, sort of a Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader, if you will, and you were certainly the
Star Wars
the Lord of the Sith. So I'm curious. I mean, do any people give you a hard time, when you're going out playing video games?
Well, does anybody give me a hard time besides your producer who called me?
Oh my God!
Geez, what happened with the producer?
Well, nothing. He just told me. He said if I do the interview today, he'd put the check in the mail immediately in the morning.
That's fair. All right, that's fair. Well, listen, Billy, I will put the check in personally.
In all fairness, your producer was a prince. He called me and he kept telling me, "Would you do this, do that?" I said, "Sure," and he said, "Geez, oh man, you're so nice." And I said, "Well, that's because you don't know me very well." And we laughed a little bit.
Well, I wouldn't say producer. I'd say a guy who kind of dials the numbers.
Yeah, it was a phone screener.
Him. But that man was Earl Douglas. I would call him the Brian Koo of radio. I hope people have seen King of Kong. I mean, King of Kong is so great. Now, here's another thing about you. Sometimes people forget you were also on MTV True Life, and it was a fantastic episode. I thought you were the highlight of it. But what was that like? I mean, how was that different?
I appreciate that, and to be honest, that was one of my favorite things I've ever done because the gentleman called me, and when he was down here, everything. You might get the impression from that show. You might get the impression from the movie. I don't mean to sound unkind. I don't give the producers much time. If you notice, everywhere they filmed me, I was either in my car or in my office, or in my house because I have a heavy life schedule, and the idea that I would fly off to point A, B, or C, just the answer was no. It was always no. So I would say to him, I'd say, "Sure, I'll be happy to do something with you, but you got to sort of keep up with me." Well, the guy from MTV was really unique. His name was Pat because everywhere I went, he would go too. If I went with my wife or my kids, including we went to the University of Miami game, football game, and it's kind of funny. Everywhere we went, he enjoyed it. He had his camera in his hand, and he always filmed everything he could, deciding what it was he wanted to use. But he kind of enjoyed it. Whereas very often, film people they're along for the ride, and they, so to speak, and they squeeze in whatever film they can. And I look at them; it's just as soon they'd be sitting there chewing on glass and listening to what happens in my everyday life because it's not exciting enough to put in a film.
Right. Well, here's what I love about King of Kong. That they gave you some history on Billy Mitchell and the video game god that he is.
Yeah.
But then they bring you back and show you that he hasn't just wandered off into obscurity, that he's not only the King of Kong, he's the King of Hot Sauce.
Yeah. You are the King of Hot Sauce, too. And I plan to buy some hot sauce, too. Do you want to plug your hot sauce?
No.
No? Okay. All right.
Well, first of all, you guys do a good enough job plugging it. Second of all, I often read, the only reason why this guy does interviews, which I haven't done an interview in weeks, because I just don't do interviews, but again, gentleman who called me, was very nice, and so I just said, okay.
We love you here. We love you.
He's only trying to sell his hot sauce, and I don't sell $50 a week based on video games. I mean, everything I sell is what was built up over the years.
Billy,
but,
may I say this?
Yes, sir.
That is not my opinion. I know you're no Schmeister. Or Schleister?
Shyster.
Schlockster?
Shyster.
Shipster.
Shyster.
I know that you're no con man, and I actually have a photo of you in my office on my desk. You are like a real inspiration to me. You're very important. In fact, Billy, I this past summer went to Fun Spot.
You did?
Yes, I did, and I saw. And the cool thing about Fun Spot, in case people don't know, by the way, we are talking to the great Billy Mitchell, the greatest video game player of all time.
On the Special Delivery Show starring Sam and Dave.
Exactly. And Fun Spot is, what would you describe it, Billy? Is that like sort of the mecca of video games? Arcades?
That's a better word. I was going to say it's the premier location in the world for classic and beyond classic, too, but classic video game play. It's the forum where video game champions go to strut their stuff.
It's an amazing place. When you go up to like the top floor, they have just an infinite, it almost seems, amount of old school arcade games. Obviously Pac-Man and Miss Pac and all that stuff. And then they also have the Wall of Champions. Mm-hmm. Okay, where it's a bunch of photos of the greatest players of all time. I noticed this, Billy. The Wall of Champions had quite many people on it. You got your own wall.
Of course he did.
Yeah, To be honest,
Yeah.
I realized that the situation, for lack of a better term, was out of hand when they actually had a 6-foot poster of me from when I did the perfect game. I turned around and I gave him a thumbs up, and it just so happens the gentleman from the Weir's Times snapped a picture, and I went back. The next time I went back, it was blown up 6 foot tall, and it was the only thing on the wall at the time, and it was amazing. And then what happened was people kept trying to steal it, and so they actually framed it. I mean, they caught one girl actually had it already out in the parking lot, and they actually framed it and secured it in, and that's when I thought,
that's hysterical.
Man, this is serious stuff.
Have you ever heard of these posters called fatheads?
Yes, I have.
Oh.
They're like, why don't they have a Billy Mitchell fathead? I will buy 4 of them right now.
No, well, the truth is they've contacted me.
Oh my God!
Yeah, we got to do it, Billy.
Billy, I will broker the deal for you. How much do you want to get paid? I'll do it for free because I'm a Billy Mitchell disciple. Did you know that I played King Kong on the same machine that Mr. Billy Mitchell played? And Billy, guess how many levels I got to?
Counting the first one?
Yes.
2.
You are a psychic as well. I got to 2 levels. And I mean, and when you beat King Kong. What's it called?
Donkey Kong.
When you beat Donkey Kong, how many levels do you have to play in order to beat it?
117.
Holy mackerel.
Here's what I love about Billy Mitchell.
Amazing.
And another thing we learned from King of Kong, that he was a champion and he still is a champion, and his attitude of a champion has carried him throughout the years. What was the message that you had on your cell phone in the movie?
Well, it's funny because there's a story behind that, but the message on the cell phone is never surrender.
That's
never.
right. I remember because...
But again, you say it with an attitude. Never surrender.
Never surrender.
Hold on. How's this? Never surrender, you son of a bitch.
No need for the profanity.
Oh, don't. Billy, should I... What do you think about me saying the SOB word?
Well, I don't know. People call me it all the time, so I guess it's okay.
Name them. Billy, name them right now.
David,
I will
calm down,
kick
David.
their asses.
Calm down, David.
Well, what happened was I had somebody call me, and they wanted to get autographed bottles of sauce to give out for the holidays.
Nice.
And I would just autograph it and send it out. And
Great Christmas gift.
One guy called, and he wanted a case, and each bottle had a different person's name on it. And he said, just make up whatever you want. And I thought, I shouldn't write the same thing on every bottle. That would be boring.
Right.
So I started writing things that I know. Never surrender, never. Always play to win, always.
Have you ever heard the Bruce Springsteen song? And he made a promise. We swore we'd always surrender. No retreat, baby, no surrender. Ever heard that song before?
That's nice.
Yeah, that's good, but I don't think that'll fit on the bottle.
Yeah, that's the problem.
good.
We were watching the movie. I was on the couch with my girlfriend. The minute I saw that scene, I wanted to get her off her ass to start succeeding. I took her cell phone right out of her hands, and I put "Never Surrender" as the screensaver.
Did you hear that?
And that's for you, Billy Mitchell, because I wanted a little bit of the awe-inspiring glow that surrounds Billy Mitchell to surround the girl in my life.
Billy, if I can fly you up here to Manhattan, where we broadcast this show, are you game? I will buy you drinks on me, and maybe... Now listen, do you like to play any of the modern, like the Wii, or are you like a home system at all? Are there any home systems that you like?
No, the truth is I don't even own a home system.
Really?
I never have. When they had the Pac-Man Championship there, a little over a year and a half ago.
Okay.
They wanted me to participate, and I said, I don't have a home machine. I never have. And they said, well, we'll send it to you. And so they sent me the machine, and I had to qualify in the top 10 in the world to do it. And the contest had already started. Well, the Xbox 360 got here, and I had to get the kid across the street to hook it up because I didn't even know how to hook it up.
Well,
because he plays the game.
Old school guy.
It's
I'm an old school knuckle.
Very difficult. I understand what you're saying. There's an outlet. There's prongs on the.
But these guys, but you and me from the old days, we play with one hand. These guys
right.
got a button for all 10 fingers.
I know. I remember going back. When was it? When do you think Atari hit its peak? When me and you were, on top of the game. What was that, like 82, 83?
Yeah, I would say 82.
Let me ask you this.
83.
I have so many questions for you. We are talking to Billy Mitchell, the greatest video game player of all time. Your friend, Steve Sanders.
Yes, sir.
Does he I'm sure people tell him this all the time, but is he a fan of Now 210? And what does he think about Ian Ziering?
Actually, I've actually picked on him about it. I've tried to pick on him.
Nice.
And maybe because he knows what he has to do to defend himself, he doesn't respond. He just shrugs it off, because when you pick on somebody and they don't respond, you sort of move along.
Yeah, it's a good point.
If you get under their skin, then they never get away from you.
What I love is Eastside Dave and Billy Mitchell sharing jokes.
I love
They
it.
make the same joke. Here's my question, also about King of Kong. How did you feel when they kind of made it controversial, when you submitted your big taped Donkey Kong score, and they started saying, well, he used to say only live, and there's a glitch in the tape, and they threw every excuse in the book they could to not give Billy Mitchell his score, when obviously it was the score to get.
Well, a couple of things. I didn't, and again, it's Hollywood, and it has to be entertaining.
Right.
And if they didn't do what they did, we wouldn't be sitting here talking about it or having fun.
Good point.
But the truth of the matter is, I sent the tape there, and it was not a submission for a high score. It's not the first time I've submitted a tape. I was at the New York Film Festival, and they showed a tape on the big screen. The first tape I ever showed that I got over 1 million.
At the New York Film Festival?
Earlier.
At the New York Film Festival.
I'm sorry, New York Video Game.
Oh, okay. I was going to say
that is at the Lincoln Center. I'm sorry.
No, that's cool. That's cool. I just thought maybe
Billy Mitchell, you don't ever have to apologize to Special Delivery.
Billy, listen, if it was up to me, I'd show every one of your tapes at a film festival. I'll go to Sundance right now. You want me to do that?
Well, no. What was unique was I sent the tape, and it was just shown in the cabin, and it wasn't. It was. You probably hear people say it in the movie. It's for entertainment only. Entertainment only. It was not to be submitted as a record. But the other factor is, it was sent there on Wednesday, and it was viewed. They began viewing it. I believe it was on Wednesday. It was viewed before Steve Wiebe ever got there.
Oh, that's
okay? But in the movie, if I understand correctly, because I haven't seen it, but if I understand correctly, he played the game. He got his high score, and suddenly I raced the tape up there to steal his thunder.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like in the film.
I couldn't get the tape that fast if I sent it on the space shuttle.
That's a good point.
That's why I like
it. My tape was already shown just for fun or just for entertainment purposes before he ever arrived there. I didn't know he was going.
Billy Mitchell shows his tapes for entertainment purposes.
And that's why I like, you're only going to get this on the Special Delivery show starring Sam and Dave. It's the Mitchell perspective, not the Hollywood perspective, the Billy Mitchell.
Great point, Sam.
There's not a single world record that I hold or that I've held that I don't actually have a personal high score higher than.
That's fantastic. Now wait, let me ask you this question. What is your relationship like with Steve Wiebe? Obviously, he was the hero of King Kong. To some people, quote unquote. Listen, Billy, to some people, not to me. You know why? I root for the quote-unquote bad guys, because I always think that they, underneath it all, are more interesting, like you.
Well, to be honest, that's why I say the world of Hollywood or the real world. And what happens is, in the world, there needs to be a good guy and a bad guy. And to be honest, playing the bad guy is a lot more fun.
Isn't it better?
There's another movie out that was on Showtime last month called Chasing Ghosts.
I desperately want to see that film.
Yeah, where I don't play the bad guy, and I play the good guy. And to be honest, it's not as much fun.
It's not as interesting.
Yeah, it's not as interesting.
You don't get under as many people's skin. But the truth is, with Steve, he and I, before I met him, he and I shared 3 separate conversations, all lasting more than an hour. Very good, very friendly, personal conversations where we just spoke about ourselves.
Again, the Mitchell perspective. The Mitchell perspective, not the Hollywood perspective.
Well, yeah, the truth is, I guess they forgot to put that in the movie. But then I invited him to San Jose, California, to the Classic Gaming Expo. This was in 2005 or 4.
So he's like 2004. So that was 5 years ago.
I invited him there. I was called upon stage to speak, as I always am. I spoke. I invited him on stage, and while I was on stage, I unveiled a poster in his honor, commissioning the poster for him, for his achievements, his contribution to the hobby, and for his skill. And then later on, or throughout that weekend, he and I played. Okay, on my first game, I got a kill screen. I got 929. Now, he played, and on the final day, his final game, he got a kill screen of 893.
Wow.
I mean, so he and I were there. We were friendly. We played. We went on internet talk shows, and to be honest, I could not have been kinder to him, nor was he unkind to me. But again, that wouldn't play very well in the movie. So the truth, and from that point in the movie, I didn't see him after that. Then in the movie where they showed that he came down to the restaurant.
Yeah, I remember.
And I drove around back, and I was afraid to go in. So I ran off like a chicken.
Yeah.
I went at the back. I went in the movie. I went in the restaurant. I was there. I introduced him and everybody there to my wife and children.
Thank you for exposing this.
I sat down at the table with him. We autographed his book. He had dinner. I bought him his dinner.
That's incredible.
So
no, it didn't.
That wouldn't make a very good part. That wouldn't make a very good movie. He's actually acknowledged that happened now. You know, he's acknowledged the different things in the film.
No.
And so the truth is, I haven't spoken to him since the film very much. I saw him at one gathering in L.A. where I was there to help raise food for homeless people, and I just said hi to him because I was only there for 2
you
hours.
raised money for homeless people in Los Angeles?
Yes, sir.
Can we? This is how Special Delivery starring Sam and Dave does it. When you say that, we clap. We applaud you.
I wanted to know.
I thought you were going to get mad at me because I didn't do it for people in New Jersey.
No, very.
Billy.
How'd you know I was from New Jersey, Billy?
From your accent.
Billy Mitchell. Billy Mitchell.
But I wanted to know
wait a second.
This is
where do you
It
think?
could have been worse. It could have been worse. I could have said from your attitude, but I didn't want to say.
Oh, Billy!
Hey, you know
Where's Sam from? Where's Sam from? Do you think?
You know who else is from New Jersey?
Who?
Brian Koo.
Brian Koo. I was just about to ask about Brian Koo. How come in the movie he seemed like such a douche?
Okay, the reason why is he really does. He's the one person who fits the stereotype of somebody who really, really plays classic games. He was from Hoboken, New Jersey. He lived and worked in Manhattan. He was a controller at a bank, and he really did retire. And he's a single guy, and he moved up to...
How did he get enough money to retire? Like, I mean, what was he a vice president of a company, or?
No, to be honest, he was a single guy who lived very modestly and saved a lot of money.
Wow, that's
smart.
That's good. That's like my plan.
But anyway, he moved up to New Jersey, and he would go to Fun Spot every day, and he would play and socialize. And so anything and everything that was Fun Spot, he knew about, and he actually even worked there at the time of the filming. And I said to Ed and Seth, I said, anything you need there, because they were going up there, I said, Brian Koo can help you with. When I send stuff, when I send posters and I send bottles, I send it to the attention of Brian Koo.
You are so generous.
So where Brian Koo is catering to everybody, as he did, he simply is turned or made to look like a stooge.
Yeah.
And they don't show that he's catering to everybody as a whole. They show that he's catering to me.
They kind of make Brian Koo out to be like one of your henchmen, that you have this control over him. Which listen,
Right.
I don't blame them.
And the last thing is
you
when
have
they
control
have
over
him
me.
walking around saying that he's there's a kill screen coming up. There's a kill screen.
Yeah, this is great.
That's true, but that happens every time a world record is set. I mean, almost every game goes off and all.
And if I'm playing skee ball or something at Fun Spot,
I want to know.
Damn it, I want to know that there's a kill screen coming up.
Well, after every good thing Billy Mitchell has told us he's done, and for giving us the scoop, let's give him another round of applause for Billy Mitchell.
Billy Mitchell, before we go, do you come into Manhattan often?
No, but you were making me an offer, and I, to be honest, I'll tell you what I tell the people who call, and they're from Los Angeles, and they say, "Hey, we want you to come out here. We want you to be on our show. We want you to run around." And I always say no right away, and they go, "Well, I didn't tell you what it's about." And I go, "You want me to come to LA? You're going to fly me there. Yeah, you're going to pick me up. We're going to run around. We're going to have all kinds of fun. You're going to film some. Some will just be having fun. We're going to eat good food, meet great people. You're going to put me on a plane and send me home for the weekend." And they go, "Yeah, right, exactly." And I say, "No." And they say, they always want to know why, like it's a money issue. And I say, it's not. I says, it's just I have a wife and I have children. So now what I tell them is, you want me to go there? I'll be there. It'll cost you 4 tickets, me, my wife, and 2 kids.
Good for you.
And we'll do. And this is a live radio show.
And sometimes they say yes, and sometimes they say no.
Billy, we were just discussing that I actually have a child. I'm only 31, but I do have a child,
and one more.
I have one on the way. And if it's a boy, may I get your blessing to call it Brian Koo McDonald? May I get that?
Anything you say.
Billy Mitchell, you are the best of all time. And it was a great pleasure, and I'll probably be calling you personally to thank you for this interview, as we now have our each other's phone numbers, but I would never give that out on the air. But I just want everyone to know that Billy Mitchell and I text.
there's different gift packs of like hot sauce, and what I want you to do is give me a physical address. It's like a 4-pack.
Okay.
Oh,
And
my.
I'll have it sent to you.
Get out of town.
Oh, that's
Are you kidding me? All right, well, Sammy.
Let's clap for that and say this. Fuck Frank's Red Hot. That's what I'll say. Frank's Red Hot, forget it.
We don't need that type of language in front of Mr. Mitchell.
I get heated up sometimes.
Right. Billy, thank you so much for being on the special delivery show starring Sam and Dave.
You're very welcome.
Thanks,
you.
Billy.
Billy Mitchell, unbelievable. And
tell you
whoever
what.
said, I tell you this, the next person that tells me Dave's drunk dialing has become a problem, I'm going to slap them in the mouth.
That's right. And listen, Mr. Eric Bogasian, because I have your phone number and I have you, who's the guy from...
Austin Scarlett?
Yeah, Austin Scarlett.
You're
I have
next,
your
Bronx.
phone number.
You're coming on special delivery,
And
too.
I've drunk dialed you two stooges before, and you refuse to answer my phone calls. Listen to how I just treated Billy Mitchell. Now, here's the thing about Sam and Dave.
Special delivery.
If we get Steve Weeby on the show, we'll suck his cock just like Billy Mitchell.
That's the thing. It's like
We
you're
don't have
coming on our
integrity.
show. No.
We are such a small show. I thought it hysterical when he said producer.
Yeah, we don't
because
have one.
We
We
have
just-
zero producers.
We asked Earl to come in
Earl was
5
eating-
minutes ago
Yeah.
and pick up the phone.
I said at 4:30, Earl, or whatever time. No, I said at 8:30ish or
Yeah.
so, 8:30ish. I said, please dial the phone number to Billy Mitchell. He's eating a meatball sub, and now he's actually sleeping, so that's fun. But we don't need a producer. That's what special delivery is.
Can I tell you something?
Damn it, that was great.
The excitement that our first guest, forever, the first celebrity guest on the special delivery show starring Sam and Dave is Billy fucking Mitchell.
That
And
makes-
Dave, that's
Where's my
you,
cell
buddy.
phone?
That's you.
Where the hell is my cell phone?
Earl
I'm calling
probably.
him.
That's
I'm
you.
calling. No, call him back. Call him back. Call Billy back right now.
I don't know if
I'm
we
not
need
even
to-
kidding. Call him back. I want to thank him on the air
All
for
right.
doing this. Now, some would say this is unprofessional.
Yeah.
But you know what? Sam and I, we've been doing this for how many years? 8, 9, 10 years?
No, this is, I think,
12?
this is our 6th hour of radio.
Okay, so my point is, we've been doing this for so long, we have not had a celebrity interview yet. This was our first, and Mr. Mitchell, Billy Mitchell, was fantastic. He was fantastic, and I'll tell you something else. He don't do interviews.
No.
I heard
No.
he turns down people left and right. He's like the J.D. Salinger of video games.
Not special delivery, though. I feel like I need to prove my worth. Maybe you want me to get Johnny Fairplay on our next show? Because me and him text back and forth.
Do you?
Yeah.
I don't know where myself. Oh, here it is. Well, I'll do it after the show. I guess they're going to try and get him on. But
Are they
even
really
if-
calling him? That's so
I was sort of
uncomfortable.
joking. I was sort of joking, but put him on now.
Oh, that's really uncomfortable.
If you're talking to him, you might as well put him on. But I was actually kidding around. But put him on anyway, and I'll thank
One
him
of
like
those
a
things.
jerk. Boy, oh boy! And I'll tell you right now, Fun Spot.
Yeah. This is uncomfortable now.
They should
What?
call.
He's-
Listen, don't worry
should I
about
be
it.
quiet?
Don't worry. Yeah, let
And
me
then
do the talking.
Just pretend like it's off the air.
let me do the talking.
And keep it short. We just did 20 minutes.
You got
with
it.
Keep
you got
it short.
You got it, buddy. They should rename Fun Spot the most fun spot. They should add two
That's
words.
good.
It
The
is
most.
the most fun spot in the world. Actually, so add those in the world. So that's a lot of extra letters, but add them. The most fun spot in the world. All right, Billy
Great.
said no. So actually, that's a good thing.
That's good.
That-
we got
that's-
We
that's
have
a
that
blessing.
interview on tape.
That's a blessing.
So we got to try to. All right, let's take a breath
Let's
because
move.
we're
Let's
gonna
move
be
ahead.
we're gonna be professionals here.
All right.
But that really, Dave, that was all you, buddy. You came through big.
That was Eastside Davey Mac, but you know what? I couldn't have done it without you, pal.
I think. I mean, when they
I
put,
could have, but
it wouldn't have been as good.
it wouldn't have been as fun.
When they put the two of us together to interview somebody, it's just so good. It's really. I mean, I don't mean to toot our own horns here. Get a little too ego trippy about it.
Okay.
We're so good together, though.
Well, it's like bread and butter.
Yeah.
And I'm the bread.
I'm the butter, baby.
Yeah.
I mean, bread is good and it fills you up.
Right.
You need a little flavor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Need a little
I
flavor.
can't be eating bread with no butter on it. And at the same time, what are you going to take a stick of butter, like some Savage, out of the fridge and start eating on that?
It's not going to
You
happen.
need some bread to put it on.
Well, Dave, we're not the only ones that are venturing into new show territory.
Really, Sam?
Yeah, Jimmy Fallon is going to start his own late night show.
Sounds great.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people were like including myself, were like, is really Jimmy Fallon of all these people?
Yeah.
Like, who does he? But we had some time off work, and I found myself, what I did with my time was I sat there and caught up on all his webisodes.
Ooh.
I just sat there watching his webisodes because he posts one every day.
That sounds like the worst thing of all time.
Well, it was actually a little bit funny. I found myself, and I didn't think I was going to. I was ready to just smash it. I found myself liking many of the videos, and I was laughing, and I was like, you know what? I actually like these. I like them enough to watch all of them. What I didn't like was he does this section called Ask Jimmy. I think every Friday he puts on his weblog is a video where he's answering video questions from listeners.
All right.
Is there anything worse in the world than going onto some comedian's show or whatever like this, and when you go to ask the question, having to be the guy who asks the funny question?
No, don't do that. Let the comedian be the funny guy. Let him give you the funny answer.
How about when you're asking a question, if you turn your webcam on so it makes your face look all jumbly up and weird, and then talk in a funny voice about something that doesn't make any sense?
That's a bad idea, I think, Sam.
Hey, Jimmy, I love football. So who do you think's going to win the Super Bowl? And do you think you can give away some tickets?
What a waste of time.
Come on, dude.
And he had this, like, effect going on his face, so his face looked all morphed, and I was like, it's just annoying.
It's not really funny.
And then
it's not good.
And then I keep watching, and here's this next guy.
Hey, Jimmy, I have a series of questions, so you might want to take a seat or something. 1.
Are you going to sit there and tell me with a straight face that he wasn't stealing Jimmy Fallon's act just now?
Oh, my
That whole ironic humor, like he had short hair, he's just like a guy. So you might want to sit down for a second. No, like you don't really want him to sit down for a second. Listen again, he's stealing Jimmy Fallon's act with this question.
Hey, Jimmy, I have a series of questions, so you might want to take a seat or something. 1. Do you plan on incorporating the Roots into your sketches?
So he takes Jimmy Fallon's act for the setup to the question, and then asks an uninteresting question.
It's embarrassing, and it's like that whole. I don't like that like shy type of sense of humor, and that's kind of what Jimmy Fallon. And look, I guess he can do impersonations pretty well. I'll give him that, but I'm not a big fan of like I'm just hi.
Yeah, it's
everything like
it's really terrible.
It's like.
That's why
I'm cute.
Exactly. Like putting your
it's
combing your hair nicely, and like you're doing humor as if like you're the guy with low self-esteem, even though you know all the girls think you're cute.
That's just a great point.
That's what Justin Timberlake does all the time. So he wants people to think that he has a sense of humor about himself, but you know if you went up to Justin Timberlake and made a joke about him, his people would take you away.
It happened. It happened on Punk'd.
Yeah, he starts crying.
It's a totally different guy than the guy who does Dick in the Box.
Yeah, just not. And I know you're saying this guy, Sam, you're reading too much into it. Like, he wasn't trying to be funny. He's just a weird guy. This was his follow-up question.
What do I have to accomplish as an individual to make it on your show?
That's all any of them think. They think they're going to send in a funny question, and that Jimmy Fallon and his producers are going to be like, we got to get that guy on the show. Forget this weblog thing.
Jimmy Fallon right now is typing, Dear Rupert Pupkin, you're never getting on my show, and don't show me your pride and joy anymore.
It's like, they're not going to take somebody who sends in a question to a weblog and say, this is a guy with some real creative energy. Like, it'd be one thing.
It doesn't happen.
If you had your own video blog and had this own thing set up that's all about you. But he's just piggybacking onto Jimmy Fallon's jokes.
It would be like if Letterman's musical director was Paul Schaefer Letterman.
Yeah.
Just going, hi, Dave.
And like
that was my Letterman impression, too, by the way. That didn't make sense. That was more like The Grinch Who Stole Christmas.
And he's making jokes with him. As if it's like, no, Jimmy Fallon's the funny guy. Just ask him a question, and then he'll have a funny answer. If the question is funny, how are you going to have a funny answer? It's just a waste of time.
Don't waste my time. Don't waste Sam's time. Don't waste Jimmy Fallon's time. And don't waste Billy Mitchell's time.
Here's a funny question. It's just so off the wall, you got to laugh.
Hey, Jimmy.
Will there be any beards in your show?
What the hell does that even mean,
Will there
Sam?
be any beards on your show? And this guy is asking. He has a beard, Dave.
Okay.
This is a difference.
I hope they have beards on this show. That means I'm going to be there.
This is why I don't think I'm cut out for a late night show. Because I'd want to go through all these submissions. Like, Jimmy Fallon is playing them and then being like, oh, haha, no, there won't be any beards. Like, I'd want to go through and do a whole video blog about stop sending me videos where you think you're funny. Because you're not. I'm Jimmy Fallon. I'm the funny guy.
Well, now, wait a second. So does Jimmy Fallon, does he respond to these things? I mean, I know we don't have the clips, but what happens after people do this?
Yeah, he responds to him, but they're like, you know, he's nice enough to him.
This is... But, oh my God, the time is up already?
Yeah. Well, we'll keep going a little bit.
Real quick... This is basically, but the whole thing is a ripoff of Letterman's emails anyway.
We got one more.
You're going to have cartoons on your show?
No
don't
cartoons. Do it. And what was with the accent?
Yeah,
and all
he's doing
that?
a funny
You're
voice.
You're not a jerky boy.
I like the Jimmy Fallon video blog, so I'm going to send him a question. That's what I'll do. I'll video blog myself.
Oh, good.
And I'll say, hey, Jimmy, just wanted to know, how sick of people thinking they're funny and sending questions to you are you?
That's a good...
I might word it a little better.
Yeah.
But I'll send it.
Oh, Sam, it was a delight. This is one of our best... Listen, every time it gets better and better, doesn't it?
It really was a great show. It's been a special delivery show starring Sam and Dave. If you want to contact us, send us an email, specialdeliveryshow@gmail.com. We got to thank Opie and Anthony.
Ron and Fez, especially.
Ron and Fez.
And let's thank Billy Mitchell one last
Billy
time.
Goddamn Mitchell was on our show today, David.
Fuck you, Weeby!
And Frank's Red Hot.
I say fuck Steve Weeby or come on the show and they'll kiss your ass.
You better have some hot sauce to promote, though.
I'm going to have the hot sauce.
What's up with Billy Mitchell? Just call him to promote that hot sauce. It's like, we get it. You have hot sauce. Relax.
We got to move on. We have some audio, Billy.
You better get me a couple of those autographed bottles, though.
I will get you the bottles.
Thank you for listening to the special delivery show.
Good night.
Have a wonderful Saturday and stay with us.
Shit is.
Website coming.